Consistency. It doesn't shout. It doesn't impress at first glance. And it rarely gets applause in the beginning. Success is predictable. It's not luck. It's not magic. It's not talent alone. It is the result of simple disciplines practiced every day. See, most people are looking for intensity. They want motivation. They want a breakthrough. But breakthroughs are built quietly, daily, almost boringly. You don't become unstoppable by doing something once. You become unstoppable by doing it again and again and again. Consistency is the force that turns average effort into extraordinary results. It's what separates those who start from those who finish, those who dream from those who live it. You don't need to be smarter. You don't need to be faster. You don't need to be better than anyone else. You just need to show up today, and then tomorrow, and then the next day. Because here's the truth most people never accept. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. And when discipline becomes habit, habit becomes character. And character becomes destiny. If you do the right things long enough, life has no choice but to change. We're going to talk about how simple, daily consistency can make you so strong, so grounded, so focused, that nothing can stop you. Not doubt, not fear, not time. Only one thing can stop consistency, and that is quitting. And today, we decide not to quit. Let me begin with a simple thought, one that sounds ordinary, but holds extraordinary power. Success is not an event. It's a routine. Most people are waiting for something big, a big break, a big moment, a big opportunity. But success rarely announces itself. It shows up quietly, daily, disguised as discipline. Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals. That's it. No fireworks. No shortcuts. Just consistency. And here's the truth most people don't want to hear. You don't lose your future in one bad day. You lose it by taking too many days off. Not days off work. Days off growth. Days off discipline. Days off becoming better. See, the danger isn't a major mistake. The danger is casual neglect. You skip today. Then tomorrow feels easier to skip. Then skipping becomes a habit. And before you know it, inconsistency becomes your lifestyle. We must all suffer one of two things: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. Consistency is choosing the ounces. Now let me slow this down. Being consistent doesn't mean dramatic effort. It means reliable effort. It means showing up when no one is watching. It means doing what needs to be done even when it feels ordinary. Especially when it feels ordinary. Because ordinary days are where your future is built. Most people think success comes from intensity. They're wrong. Success comes from continuity. Anyone can work hard for a week. Anyone can be motivated for a month. But few people stay consistent for years. That's why few people win. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. Habits are born from consistency. And consistency is born from decision. You decide there are no days off from becoming better. Now, let's be clear. This doesn't mean you never rest. It means you never quit on yourself. Even on your worst day, you do something. Even when energy is low, you keep the promise. Even when progress feels invisible, you stay the course. Why? Because success is predictable. If you read every day, you become wiser. If you practice every day, you become skilled. If you save every day, you become secure. If you work on yourself every day, you become valuable. Not overnight, but inevitably. Success is something you attract by the person you become. And the person you become is shaped daily, not occasionally, not when you feel like it, daily. Here's where most people get confused. They wait for confidence before they act. But confidence comes after consistency, not before. You don't become consistent because you believe in yourself. You believe in yourself because you are consistent. Every day you show up, you cast a vote for the person you want to be. Every day you quit early, you cast a vote for the person you're trying to escape. Consistency is identity in action. And once consistency becomes your identity, something powerful happens. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop asking, should I do this today? You already decided. No days off. Not from learning. Not from effort. Not from discipline. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And consistency is how you walk that bridge. One step. Every day. Now let me say something important. You don't need more time. You don't need better conditions. You don't need perfect motivation. You need standards. Standards say, this is what I do, regardless. Standards say, this is who I am, even when it's hard. When consistency becomes your standard, excuses lose their power. And slowly, quietly, you begin to separate yourself from the crowd. While others start and stop, you continue. While others talk, you work. While others wait, you build. And one day, people will say, you're lucky, but you'll know better. It wasn't luck. It was no days off from becoming better. Consistency doesn't make noise, but it makes history. And this is where all success begins. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they're inconsistent. They start strong. They feel excited. They promise themselves, this time will be different. And then life shows up. Energy drops. Motivation fades. Discomfort appears. And that's where most people stop. The greatest value in life is not what you get. The greatest value is what you become. Most people quit before becoming. They mistake enthusiasm for commitment. Enthusiasm is loud. Commitment is quiet. Enthusiasm shows up when things feel good. Commitment shows up when things feel heavy. And consistency demands commitment. Here's the first reason most people fail. They expect progress to be fast. They work for a week and want a reward. They try for a month and want recognition. They measure effort by days instead of decades. But success doesn't rush. Give whatever you are doing and whoever you are with the gift of your attention. Consistency requires patience. And patience is rare. The second reason most people fail is comfort. Comfort whispers, you can do it tomorrow. Comfort says, you deserve a break. Comfort doesn't scream. It persuades. And slowly, comfort becomes the enemy of discipline. We must all suffer one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Most people choose comfort today and regret later. You choose differently. Another reason people fail is distraction. They try to do everything. They chase every idea. They jump from plan to plan. But consistency requires focus. You don't need 100 habits. You need a few practiced daily. If you want things to change, you have to change. Not your goals every week, your behavior every day. Most people fail because they wait for motivation. They say, I'll do it when I feel like it. But feelings are unreliable. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It asks what you decided. You already decided. That's why you don't fail. You understand something others ignore. Consistency is not emotional. It's mechanical. You show up. You do the work. You move forward, even when it's boring, especially when it's boring. Most people quit because no one is watching. No applause. No praise. No instant feedback. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. That kind of work happens in silence. You don't need an audience. You need integrity. And integrity is doing what you said you would do, long after the mood has passed. Another reason people fail is they break promises to themselves. They say, I'll start Monday. Monday comes. They delay. Each broken promise weakens self-trust. You don't do that. You keep small promises. You honor small commitments. And small wins build big confidence. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Not once in a while. Every day. Most people look for shortcuts. You look for systems. Most people chase motivation. You build habits. Most people quit when it's inconvenient. You continue because it's necessary. That's the difference. You don't rely on feelings. You rely on standards. You don't negotiate with yourself. You execute. You understand this truth. Consistency isn't something you try. It's something you become. And once you become consistent, you become dangerous. Not loud, not flashy, but unstoppable. Because while others stop and start, you never stop becoming better. Years ago, I met a man quiet, unassuming, almost invisible at first. He wasn't the smartest. He wasn't the most talented. He wasn't lucky. But there was something about him. Something steady. Something reliable. Every day, he did one thing. He showed up. He worked. He learned. He invested in himself, little by little, day by day. At first, it didn't look like much. His life didn't change overnight. Friends laughed. Why work so hard for so little? They asked. But he kept going because he understood something the rest didn't. Consistency compounds. Small actions, repeated over time, turn into extraordinary results. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. Notice the words, simple, few, every day, not flashy, not once in a while, every single day. That's where most people fail. They try something once. They give up after a week. They look for the dramatic breakthrough. But life doesn't work that way. Let's break it down. Imagine planting a tiny seed. You water it once. Nothing happens. You water it again the next day. Still nothing. A week later, nothing. A month later, maybe a small sprout. But you keep watering. You keep nurturing. You keep believing. And one day, without warning, that seed becomes a tree. Strong, unshakable, life-changing. Your efforts are the seed. Your consistency is the water. Time is the sun. And the compounding effect? It's unstoppable. Think about your own life. The books you read, the habits you form, the goals you take steps toward. Every small action adds up. Every disciplined choice strengthens your future. Every day you honor your commitments, you earn more than you realize. Here's the secret most people never see. The real magic of consistency is invisible. No one notices you at first. No one applauds. No one says, wow, look at what you did today. But tomorrow builds on today. Next week compounds the last. Next year, suddenly, your life is unrecognizable. That quiet man I told you about? 10 years later, he owned a business that changed lives. He traveled. He taught. He inspired. All because he refused to quit on small, daily actions. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. And habits, when practiced consistently, compound. Think about saving money. $1 today isn't much. $100 this month seems small. But if you save consistently, year after year, wealth grows exponentially. Think about learning. 1 page of a book a day seems insignificant. But 1 page a day, every day for a year, that's a 365-page book. 10 years, 3,650 pages. You'll know more than most people read in a lifetime. Your health, your skills, your relationships, your wealth, all compound the same way. But only if you remain consistent. Consistency doesn't require perfection. It requires persistence. It requires showing up, even when you don't feel like it. Even when the results seem invisible. Even when no one notices. Even when life is difficult. Because compounding doesn't work overnight. It works over time. And here's the most powerful part. Once you experience the compounding effect, your life becomes unstoppable. You start believing in yourself. You start trusting your efforts. You start seeing potential where others see obstacles. You start becoming the person capable of extraordinary results. And that's the true gift of consistency. It doesn't just give you success. It transforms you. It shapes your character. It molds your identity. You begin to think differently. You act differently. You live differently. The daily disciplines no longer feel like chores. They feel like the natural rhythm of who you are. And the world begins to respond accordingly. Opportunities find you. People notice you. Life begins to flow in ways that used to feel impossible. All because you were consistent. So here's the challenge. What can you do today? What small action will you take? Not for recognition, not for applause, but because it compounds. Because in 5, 10, 15 years, it will be the reason your life is extraordinary. Be patient. Be persistent. Be consistent. And one day, you will look back and realize it wasn't luck. It wasn't magic. It was the quiet, relentless power of compounding consistency. Show up. Do the work. Repeat tomorrow. Because that's how ordinary days turn into an extraordinary life. Let me be honest with you. Some days, it's easy. The motivation is high. The energy is flowing. The results seem near. But other days are heavy. The alarm rings, and your bed feels like a magnet. The work sits there, waiting, staring at you. The phone buzzes, distracting. The mind whispers, maybe tomorrow. Most people listen. Most people quit. And that's why most people fail at consistency. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. But discipline is tested on the days you don't feel like crossing that bridge. Consistency isn't about inspiration. It's about decision. It's about showing up even when the mood is gone. Even when the feelings aren't aligned. Even when life is inconvenient. Let me tell you a secret. The feelings never come first. You don't wait for motivation to appear. You act first, and motivation follows. Think about it. When you exercise, you don't wait to feel energetic. You start moving, and energy arrives. When you study, you don't wait to feel inspired. You open the book, and inspiration appears. When you work on your goals, you don't wait to feel confident. You take the step, and confidence grows. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And the stronger it gets, the easier it becomes to show up on the hard days. Here's a truth few people accept. Consistency is forged in discomfort. It is built when you act despite resistance. It grows when you resist the urge to quit. Let me share a story. I knew a man. He wanted to start his own business. Every day he promised himself he'd work on it. Some days he was tired from his day job. Some days he faced rejection emails. Some days the plan seemed impossible. Most people would have stopped. Not him. He showed up anyway, even if it was just one small step, even if it was only 15 minutes. Years later, that small daily effort became a thriving business. Not because he was lucky, not because he was brilliant, because he refused to quit on himself. That's the difference. Consistency, when you feel like quitting, separates the ordinary from the unstoppable. You see, life doesn't reward effort on easy days. It rewards effort when effort is hard. It rewards commitment when commitment is inconvenient. It rewards persistence when persistence feels impossible. And here's the beautiful part. Each time you show up when you don't feel like it, something grows inside you. Self-trust grows. Confidence grows. Character grows. Your identity shifts from someone who tries to someone who follows through. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. But habits aren't built on easy days. They're built on the days you push through. So, how do you stay consistent when you don't feel like it? 1. Focus on standards, not feelings. Decide who you want to be and act in alignment with that person, no matter what your emotions say. 2. Break it into small steps. Even a single, simple action counts. Momentum starts small. 3. Remember the compounding effect. Every effort, even tiny, adds up over time. You are investing in your future, even if it's invisible today. 4. Eliminate excuses. Excuses are distractions, disguised as reasons. When you remove them, you remove hesitation. 5. Commit to no days off for your growth. Even a small action counts. Even a single choice counts. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's quiet. It's often invisible, but it's powerful. And the more you practice it, the less you notice the resistance. Eventually, showing up becomes automatic. Not because you always feel like it, because your identity has shifted. Because you are someone who follows through. So today, I challenge you. The next time you don't feel like it, the next time life makes it inconvenient, The next time your emotions want to quit, remember this. Your future is built on the days you don't feel like it. Your success is forged in the moments you push through. Your unstoppable life is created in the small acts of consistency, even when you don't want to act at all. Show up today. Do it again tomorrow. And let the person you're becoming outpace the person you were yesterday. Because that's how ordinary effort becomes extraordinary results. By now, you understand the secret. Consistency isn't a habit. It's not a strategy. It's not a temporary plan. Consistency is who you become. It's the quiet force that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. It's the bridge between dreams and reality. It's the invisible power that separates those who succeed from those who simply wish. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. But consistency is the foundation of that bridge. Let me tell you something personal. Years ago, I struggled with discipline. I had goals. I had plans. I had motivation. But when life got hard, I quit. I made excuses. I let emotions dictate my actions. And I failed. Not spectacularly, not catastrophically, but quietly. Day after day, I failed on small things, small commitments I had made to myself. Then one day, I realized something. It wasn't talent. It wasn't opportunity. It wasn't luck. It was me. It was my consistency or lack of it. So I made a decision. I would become the person who keeps showing up, no matter how I felt, no matter what happened, no matter how small the action seemed. I didn't aim for perfection. I aimed for persistence. I aimed to become unstoppable. And slowly, quietly, something incredible happened. The small, consistent actions began to compound. Habits formed. Skills multiplied. Confidence grew. People noticed my results. But the real change was inside me. I became someone who could not be shaken by setbacks. Someone who did not quit when it was hard. Someone whose identity was defined by consistency, not convenience. And that is what being unstoppable really means. It doesn't mean life stops testing you. It doesn't mean challenges disappear. It doesn't mean everything goes your way. It means that no matter what, you continue. You adapt. You persevere. You grow. Consistency becomes more than action. It becomes your identity, your character, your reputation with yourself. And once that happens, no obstacle can stop you. No opinion can sway you. No circumstance can derail you. You see, the world doesn't create unstoppable people. Life doesn't hand out unstoppable success. You create it by showing up, by keeping your word, by practicing discipline every single day. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. But I want you to understand the final piece. When consistency becomes part of your identity, you no longer need motivation. You no longer need reminders. You no longer need external pressure. You are the bridge. You are the engine. You are the unstoppable force. This is why standards matter. Because your identity is shaped by what you refuse to compromise. You become the type of person who shows up, even when it's inconvenient, does the work, even when no one is watching, takes responsibility, even when it's hard, keeps promises, even to yourself. And that is the secret of life-changing consistency. It's not just effort. It's not just time. It's who you are becoming. So, start today. Make consistency your standard. Make it non-negotiable. Make it your identity. And one day, people will ask, how did you do it? And you will smile quietly and say, I didn't do it once. I didn't do it for a week. I showed up every day, no days off. And eventually, I became unstoppable. That is the power of consistency. That is the path to true success. That is how ordinary people transform into extraordinary lives. Remember this. Consistency isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up again and again. It's about becoming the person who never quits. Start today. Take the small step. Repeat tomorrow. And soon, you will be unstoppable. Because your life is not shaped by luck or chance. It's shaped by who you choose to become. Be consistent, no days off, and watch your life transform.